I think.
Not yet. All right.
Okay. We'll do the little thing first. Okay, ready? Hello again. This is Janine Ayana Watkins.
And Danielle Ayanas Ford.
And we are doing an excerpt from the book
Sonder Lives?
Or Sonder Lives. Either way, we are picking up in Chapter 8, Customer Service, right after Cassiopeia has woken up after a devastating evening in her own village. This is right before she's going to meet Arian, who is the Peace Marshal of the Mayor's Department, up in the hills. So here we go, picking up with Flash.
Dun dun dun. Chapter 8, Customer Service. That evening, giant beams of light flood Cassiopeia's flattened world, causing her to stir awake. Frantically, she tellies,
I'm here, on the hill, next to the trees, I'm here.
After she says this over and over again to the brink of exhaustion, the hovercraft drops down and rescues her. As she's pulled on board, Cassiopeia collapses while saying,
Oh, Allah, thank you. I don't know where to go, and I...
She faints. Cassiopeia wakes up when the moon is high. She overhears. That's the end of the line. At least we saved one. There's a transmission made. We rescued one girl, Yin, from a remote village, returning to headquarters. Clear? Cassiopeia comes to terms with being the only survivor. Not wanting to distract the pilot or co-pilot, she directs her attention outside the window. In solace, Cassiopeia begins to realize how much of her world she missed while living solely in chivalry. Geographically, the village of chivalry was a pond compared to the great lake she flies over. Tragically, 3 major cities she hovers over are no more than massive rings of fire. Every valley and open field she passes no longer seems functional. These cities dwarf her village in comparison, but now are all similar in their silence. As they approach the highest mountain range in the governing city of Mares, her inner intelligence reminds her through Andromeda's jingle.
You might say you want to stay here forever, but it is worth it to let go and explore.
She isn't going home, but she feels safe going. She feels an urge to remember she was put on that hill to survive. She doesn't know why, but she trusts she'll discover it soon enough. The hovercraft returns to the landing docks at Universal Network headquarters. When Cassiopeia lands, she is brought into Universal Network's main hall of history to meet Arian. Arian is the Peace Marshal for the Maresian Peace Department. The moment Arian sees Cassiopeia, he lights up and declares, Even though it is our first time meeting, I already know you were coming. It's as if I expected it. It's an odd way to greet someone, causing Cassiopeia to become defensive.
Sir, I had no intention on leaving chivalry today. I never intended on leaving my village ever. This has been quite an experience, and I do not know where I fit in outside of my valley.
With a look of clear understanding, he says, seems like a reasonable and very normal curiosity. I assure you. Well then, we shall figure it out together. Today we've all experienced great loss. My clan of 6 is down to 2. My offspring Omega and I are coping very differently. Cassiopeia drops her guard.
Oh, I am so sorry. I had no idea, sir. I...
Call me Arian, Arian interjects. And let's talk over dinner. I am famished. Are you hungry? Cassiopeia nods meekly, knowing she hasn't eaten all day. Not wanting to intrude, she asks,
May I prepare it?
Ecstatically, Arian accepts. Oh, absolutely. With everything that happened today, the staff was dismissed. But between us two, I think we could find our way around the kitchen. Shall we? Cassiopeia and Arian both find themselves making their way through the kitchen effortlessly. Cassiopeia gets the layout much quicker. She inquires,
Will there be more joining us? Or just us two?
Arian thinks, Perhaps Omega, my eldest offspring. I haven't a clue where he went off to. I'll also ask the search team to see how many are still on duty. In total, Cassiopeia prepares enough for 24 prana. More than enough. Astonished, Arian asks, "You certainly know your way around this large kitchen. Do you make large meals like this often?"
Yes, twice a day. I had 6 younger siblings and 2 duality guardians to cook for, and we usually had about a dozen or so guests with us at all times.
Arian nods. I see. Do you often have visiting guests outside of your clan?
Yes, my clan ran the Chivalry Hospitality Center in our village. Oftentimes, my siblings would try to help in the kitchen, but I'd send them away to clean on the daily guest rooms. In exchange, I'd cook all of our meals and clean up afterwards. The 9 of us ran the finest hospitality center. We are world renowned. We were known through all the other centers. Sure, we had our struggles, but always handled all squabbles with levee and kindness. We had a working system, truly a clan run business.
Elated, Arian tries to relate. Huzzah! I've never heard of a hospitality center, but that is our vision too. Well, mine. I always wanted a working environment that acts and treats fellow workers as their own clan. My partner and offspring didn't share the same desires. Never wanting to work, but always willing to take the rewards. They levy living in this mountain and using my credits established in the community. Well, they did. But they never listened to me. I wish I'd have tried harder to keep them here today. He falls silent. Cassiopeia doesn't know what to do, so she keeps preparing the food. Several moments pass before Arian jumps back in. Enough about me. What about your life? I am ashamed to say I've never heard of chivalry. What was it like? The question seems to bring Cassiopeia alive, as if asked to put on a show. She begins stringing together memories of her village.
Chivalry was remarkable. Even if it was your first time navigating those city streets, they generously propelled you over their warm cobblestones, down the most lively alleyways, along, and always leading you with this lingering sense of nostalgia. Leaving my center today felt like stepping out of the mundane and into the world of magic. Staring at our Turanian sky with fresh eyes was like seeing the play of a memorized manuscript, which with each wonder I left as my clan waved me off, I was filled with the giddiness and the unmeasurable excitement towards me as I left, while it was only matched by their anticipation for me to return. They knew I'd bring back vibrant stories of my adventure.
Cassiopeia starts mixing the food while continuing to speak.
Chivalry has no strangers. Everyone is familiar. You see yourself in everyone you cross paths with. You feel it over and over again as it effortlessly guides you through the bustling crowds right where you're supposed to be. All of the songs are known by heart, and all of the rich aromas never seem to end. At all hours of the day, the tunes will chime and fill you with cheer and glee, while the sweet scents of breads will waft endlessly. Oh, and the colors! Never have you seen such pinks, yellows, and unnatural blues.
Cassiopeia's eyes begin to scintillate.
Honest to Allah, I didn't even know that teal or aqua existed until today.
Today, Arian follows up, was it different from yesterday or the day before? Cassiopeia shakes her head.
I don't actually know. Today was the first time I'd ever left my hospitality center since I was level 1.
Arian is astonished. My word! Didn't your guardians let you out? Cassiopeia shrugs.
I always declined. I had no need. I had everything I ever wanted there. My clan, my comforts, my work, my world. I only agreed to go out today because I turned level 18. I chose a confusing day to level 8 and discover beauty.
Dumbfounded, Arian clarifies. Your description of your town was from one day? She nods. From one time out. She nods. And that one day happened to be today. She nods. And you just turned level 18 after discovering beauty. She nods and adds.
And for what it's worth, I did discover beauty today in everything that Allah has given to me. And now I know not to levy anything, because when He takes it, it only leads to destruction. I wish I had never said yes to leaving today. Life was simpler inside of my center.
Arian becomes uneasy with Cassiopeia's words. My dear, surely you don't mean that. I mean, if you'd stopped in your center, you would not have survived. She does not answer, continuing to combine ingredients. Arian, still uneasy, chooses to sit with his feelings for a while longer. Arian collects himself enough to focus back as Cassiopeia starts cooking the food. This is a lot to unpack, and frankly, I do not know how you are so composed. Okay, what would you feel comfortable doing about living arrangements? Do you have any distant clan members that you know of? Cassiopeia does not answer. She just shakes her head. There were none that she knew, and even if she did, what were the chances that they survived? Arian makes an offer. You may stay in my home for as long as you need to recover. I have more than enough rooms, and it's... Cassiopeia stops preparing and interrupts him.
Oh, sir, I couldn't possibly...
Arian cuts her off. Please accept this generosity, and it comes without any urgency to return to the working world. As it is, by preparing this single elaborate meal, you're working more than my whole clan ever did. I insist. Honestly, I feel I'm doing this more for me than you. Your presence is needed here. You have the nerves of a goddess. Trust me. Nothing he says phases her. He asks, how are you so calm and without a trace of desperation to be shown? Cassiopeia automatically responds.
That answer is simple. I have no choice.
Cassiopeia studies Arian's face. He is in awe of her. She purses her lips.
I will accept your offer of hosting me if you agree to two things. One, we share dinners together. And two, you never assume an answer I might give without asking me first. Deal?
Deal. They shake tentacles and continue preparing dinner. Not another word is spoken about their pasts. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.